Welcome to That's No Class. I'm Brian Baruman.
And I'm Morgan Darian.
Welcome back to the home of class, where we talk about the most interesting and funny things happening in the news and in our lives, try to figure out how to live classy, and call out no-class moves.
This week in news, Brian covers a murder close to home. I have a story about Fiona, the loneliest sheep. Then I share a major scheme that happened to me last week. Multiple parties involved in this one. Brian gives us some free car advice. And as always, we end with our no-class picks.
If you're listening for the first time, thank you so much. If you're an OG listener, thank you guys so much. We got a great show this week. And remember, next week is a big deal. Episode 50.
So crazy.
Big milestone for us. Tell us your favorite moments from the show. Is it the origin of Mogo's nickname?
Oh, my God.
Is it the meatball sub?
The meatball sub.
Let us know. We need to know before Saturday, November 18th, because that's when we'll be recording. We want to do something cool with them for the show. Please, guys, give them to us. Whatever they are. Reach out to us anywhere. Because you know we like to do cool and unorthodox things on the show. So it would be an awesome thing. Friend, I got a really nice compliment on the show from my homie in Dubai. I didn't even know listened to the show.
Okay.
He said talk shows are not his kind of podcast, which I already knew. But he said he appreciates ours because it's produced well, and he appreciates things that are done well. Quality.
Okay. All right. We'll take it.
Yeah, it's very cool. Very cool.
Nice.
Let's get to some news.
Now here's the news.
All right, this one I've been waiting all week to share with you, friend.
Really?
You don't know how many times I thought about and wanted to bring this up with you. We have somewhat of a connection to this one.
What?
The torso of a woman's body was found in a dumpster behind the Paquito Mas that we go to.
What? How do we have a connection to that? Because we go to the Paquito?
Because we go to the Paquito Mas.
Oh, my God.
It's a block away. When it happened and I'm looking at the chopper footage, I'm like, that's a block away from my house.
Paquito. Okay.
So as far as I know, it was just a torso, no head, no lower half, no arms. Okay, I'm going to give you a timeline.
Famous.
A timeline of how we all learned about it in the news world and how, other than the fact that it was so close to our house, there might be more connections to us.
What?
So Wednesday morning, a homeless man is going through that dumpster looking for whatever he's looking for. Probably one of the dudes we see around here every day.
I mean, yeah.
He reports
We
it to
know
the
our
cops.
people.
We do know. We got regulars. Reports it to the cops. Honor your homeless people, everyone. Recognize them. Without this guy, this body never gets found. This
Yeah.
crime is never uncovered.
Oh, my God.
A guy is seen on video dumping the bag with the body into the dumpster. They track the car's license plate to a house in Tarzana, just up the hill from the other Paquito Mas that we go
Stop
to
it.
next to Kid from the Valley. They say they find blood and evidence that there's been a murder in that house. A woman and her two parents who live there are missing. There's also a man, the husband to the missing woman. Those are her parents. They arrest him for suspicion of murder at the Topanga Mall,
Oh, my God.
which of course we go to.
Huh?
Again, the body has no head and no identifying features other than DNA, so they can't yet say if it is the wife for sure. But the wife is missing and the parents are missing.
Where is the rest of her if that's her?
Well, she
What
might. They
different
might have also
dumpster.
been in there. But the way that evidence works and charges and stuff.
Well, they would have looked.
Yeah, they looked. They looked the next day also. He's charged with
sorry.
murder because they found blood in the house and he allegedly dumped a body on video. So there's the connection, but they can't say it's his wife until they get the DNA. By the
And
time,
they can't say it's him because they can't for sure see on
no,
the
they
video.
can
if it's
say
him?
that he's suspicion of murder. You killed somebody in your house. There's too much blood.
Okay, yeah, you killed someone
But we can't say that it's her yet.
because they don't know her blood.
Yes. Well, they don't. They haven't identified it yet. They have to do lab tests and stuff like
Right,
this.
but they will.
They will. It's going to come. Yeah, it's going to come. Probably by the time that people hear this episode, we may know already. But don't know yet.
God.
Okay, but there's more.
Oh, no.
2 day laborers. And when I read that, I was like, oh, you mean my people. Gots to be. And sure enough, they get interviewed by a reporter.
Day laborers.
And they speak in Spanish, talking about
Okay.
this guy on Tuesday, the day before the body is discovered, tells them he'll pay him $500 to go throw away these bags for him.
No.
These guys. My dad probably says, what's up to these guys on the reg? Have I ever told you that my dad will stop and say hi to any gardeners he sees
I
when
think
he's
you
cruising
did tell
around?
me that,
He
and I
used
really
to be a
like
gardener.
that. It's
Yeah, it's
very
dope.
nice.
He probably knows these guys. So
I try to say hi, but also I feel like that because I'm white and like I feel like I look like I'm trying to be nice to you. Are you having a good day?
I'm sure
Breaking the waves?
I'm sure they still say hi though, right?
They do. They're so nice.
Yeah, my people. Anyway, these guys take the bags. They pick them up and they put them in their truck.
Yeah, because
they
of course.
say, in Spanish, they say, it feels like there's carne inside.
Oh, no.
You know?
No.
They drive about a mile. They say they feel weird. They check the bags. They see a belly button and they say, nope. They're terrified. They go back to this dude, put the bags back, give him his money back, and say, nah.
Yeah, good.
They go to the highway patrol on DeSoto. They tell him, highway patrol, they tell him to go to LAPD. He goes to an LAPD station on Topanga. Police say, for some reason, I'm not really clear on this, and I don't think anybody else is, they say, go outside, call 911 from outside.
What?
Don't really know why. The cops do. They
Who
say,
says go outside?
the cops in the station. They go in and they go, there's a body, and they say, go outside and call 911. Maybe the response time is faster. Because
the people in there are just like office workers.
Maybe. And they're like
we don't
you don't want to file a police report. Just call 911 and get the cops out there now. So that's probably what happens. Okay. But I don't think that they made a report or did anything like that because it seems like the homeless guy finding the body is actually what leads to the arrest, not these two dudes telling the police, hey. So it seems like they called 911, reported it, and they said, okay, we'll kind of track this down, but it took a couple days. But by the following morning, the homeless guy had already found the body, and so they went straight to there. And
they didn't have any of this. Is so
That's
gross.
what happened. And so the details are still wishy-washy a little bit. That's how journalism works, everybody. God. There aren't always clear and exact answers, but there you go. It's like the biggest story, friend, and it's crazy.
Man, that's a big story. This type of thing is what makes me pray to the heavens that ghosts are real so that
can,
lady can haunt the shit out of him.
Tell her secrets?
No. The secrets are out. I hope that she freaking ruins his brain. That's what I mean.
Ruins this dude?
Yeah.
Side note, this guy, the suspect, the son of a very high-level talent agent in Hollywood. Apparently posts
always
on
the rich ones. They're always doing some wild shit,
I don't know, man. I don't know. So, but it's only been a few days. There's still new details that are going to be coming out. But it's crazy. It's in our backyard. My mom says we got to get out of here and over to New York where it's safe.
Over to New York where it's safe.
So, that's the story, friend.
Oh, God. That's just... Why?
Things happen. It's unusual. It's not a normal thing. It's very unusual.
It's true. You never tell a murder story, so I will give you this one.
It's true. And I never tell you ones even off mic when it's just me and you.
I don't like it. I'm about to make it better.
Okay, do it.
Okay, second news story is questionable. The definition of story is being stretched here, but Brian emailed me this story without looking at the details, and I don't want to let him down. So
best story I heard all week.
I'm going to tell you the
story. My favorite story.
Okay. There is a sheep named Fiona who was living in a cliff cave for years. It somehow fell down there when it was young, and the farmers in the area just didn't have the time to rescue it. But apparently, it was actually thriving, apart from maybe being lonely. We don't know. So animal rights people are like, we're going to rescue it. And the farmers are like, man, fine, we'll go get her. So they do. And they shear off her coat. And they discover she's actually quite chunky and just super well fed. She's doing great.
Yeah.
The animal rights activists are like, free Fiona from the farmers. And the farmers are like, she's fine. She's having a great time. Like, what are you talking about? The short news segment, definitely worth a little watch. Because my favorite reporter, Jeannie Mose, I don't know how to say her last name.
For some reason, I assume it's Moose.
She said it on air, but it's like Mose. Jeannie Mose. This is how she says it. Jeannie Mose.
Then that's how we'll say it. Mose.
Yeah. So she does the voiceover and the package, and it's just the best.
Yeah, she's on CNN.
I'll post it on our story. There's a clip of Celine Dion singing All By Myself next to a thing of the sheep.
I mean, this is the thing. This sheep lived for years by itself on a little cliff edge, completely cut off from the world. There's nothing but the ocean below it. and this little patch of grass, I guess. And it's
Yeah.
been living completely alone.
It's doing
just
fine.
Eating grass, and it's incredible.
Yeah,
It's
looking
an
at the
amazing
sea.
story. It's called The World's Loneliest Sheep.
Yeah. He said, all by myself.
Oh, that's good. I love this story. Thank you for doing it. Thank you for making
You're
me happy.
welcome.
I didn't know, but that it was a chunk.
It's a chunk.
It was living well, but
Yeah.
it's not good to be alone for too long, even if
No,
you're a
it's
sheep.
probably happy to be with others.
I'm sure it wanted friends.
Yeah.
And so the animal activists are saying, set it loose from the farm and put it back on the cliff where it
No.
was completely by itself?
They want it to go into like a sanctuary. And they're like, it's fine. It's in a farm.
It's cool, man.
Chilling with the other sheep. It's doing great.
Okay, thank you for that.
Yeah.
All right, it's been 2 weeks, so it's time for the Golden Bachelor.
Okay.
If you don't watch and you aren't into it, feel free to jump ahead to the next segment. It's totally fine with us. It's just that we've put time into this freaking show, and we've got listeners who are into this and want us to do it, so we're going to do it all the way to the end. But if you're not into it, no offense taken.
This is the second to last time
Go
we'll
ahead.
mention it.
Yeah, we're almost done.
Yeah.
But we're going into details here, so
All right.
just be
do
warned.
it.
All right, we watched episode 5 and 6, and man, hometowns. Gary meets all the families of the 3 women who are left. Morgan says Gary's such a good dude because he doesn't lie to Teresa's family, and they look cute, like he enjoys being with her, sweet, but he doesn't seem like he loves her to me.
Say it.
Listeners, we're for the first time watching Morgan hate a segment as we're in it and say this segment needs to die and this needs to end and wrap it up. I'm over this. I'm so over what we're doing right now.
Have to cut a lot.
Let's cut it
Cut
out.
it out. We're fine. Let's do it.
Okay, here we go. Turns out Susan with the short hair and Kathy, who told Teresa to zip it, are hilarious together. We say just give them a show where Susan is doing Nancy's hair and Nancy's just saying stuff with this skeptical look on her face, like happened here.
I stunk. One came out, I was like, oh my God.
Is Gary causing you gas?
I think it's Edith's fault because she makes good guac.
You made meatballs. Is it possible your gas
No,
is
it's the
coming from...
guacamole.
You don't know?
I do know because
No.
I don't eat that all the time.
But you eat meatballs?
And I don't get gas.
My money's on the meatballs. Her meatballs are delicious, but,
I couldn't have a date tonight. I would have to cancel.
It was definitely the meatballs.
Oh, God.
Kathy has some of the best lines in the show.
She's got good ones.
She's like, you don't know. Straight shooter.
Straight
as
shooter.
she calls herself.
Yeah.
I would watch that show.
It's funny. Just
Susan
we don't need the Bachelor.
Susan just does Kathy's hair and they just talk about stuff.
Yeah, and they're just women being women.
They just have opinions about things.
Yeah, we don't need Gary.
No.
Because now, at the end of this,
Man.
fast forward, Gary ends up eliminating Faith. Picks Teresa.
It's ridiculous.
It's insane. We were like shocked. And you said he's a piece of garbage because he lied.
He didn't have to do that whole thing. He's like whispering in front of her family, like, I'll say it if you'll say it. What?
Yeah.
You don't need to say that.
Manipulations almost.
That was an unneeded moment.
Yeah. Not cool.
Ugh.
Not cool.
But honestly, like, I really want to bag on Gary, but then he cries and it just makes me not want to be mean to him. Like, he's bawling.
You think
And I'm like, you can't say, I love you to all 3 women, okay? But then on the other hand, he's like losing it. So I can't yell at him.
okay. Because he shows genuine remorse, it's okay.
God, he's like literally about to have a mental breakdown. I think.
I mean, they're teasing it, kind
I
of.
mean,
like
literally
he's gonna
at the
lose
end
it.
of this episode, he's going to be like, I wish I never did this. Just like in a corner, like,
Maybe he
I've
will.
heard everyone. It's ridiculous.
It's wild what we're watching. Why are we watching this?
I don't know. We have one more episode.
We got to keep
so
going.
We got to do
We got
it.
to keep going. Thanks for staying with us on this one, guys. We'll wrap it up. All right. Well, when we come back, Morgan and I's special segment worlds collide.
Yeah.
Morgan's got a scheme first. Thanks so much for being here. We love having you. We'll be right back. Welcome back. Another scheme hit us this week. It happened to Morgan. It's all yours, friend. Tell us.
Schemes. We thought this segment was going to be a one-off, and now this is our 4th time doing it.
At least.
At least. I hope I'm not attracting schemes to me by putting this out into the world.
My mom would say you are.
I know. Okay, so in this case, the first part of this scheme, yes, this is a multifaceted day of schemes I'm about to describe. The first part of this scheme is a classic. This guy is what we expect a schemer to be. I went to the bank, like I do, because I need change for work, and there's a guy that I pick up on as being weird. What makes him weird, Morgan? You're probably just paranoid. He's wearing a construction outfit that is so crisp, like never worn outside ever, that I'm kind of like, that's odd. Then he's not standing in line. He's standing between the business line and the regular line, but he's not really trying to be seen by a teller. People from the business line are like, oh, do you want to go? And he's like, no, I'm good. And he's holding like 4 20s in his hand. So I go through the line. I get my change. The stupid teller doesn't put it in an envelope for me. So I kind of struggle to put it into the envelope while walking out, which is my first huge mistake because usually I'm taking stock of my surroundings. But I majorly failed here. Then on the way to my car, I feel a presence behind me. So I speed up. I feel someone speed up, so I speed up again. When I look to the side, I can see someone in my peripheral vision. I get to my car, get in, lock the doors. It's the guy in the construction outfit that I noted as being a bit odd. He is almost to my car when I get in, then veers suddenly to the right and sprints away. I'm like, that's really weird, but whatever, he's gone. Here's my second major mistake. I drive to my next location. It's about a minute away. I get out to go shopping for about 20 to 30 minutes. My third major mistake, and the one I know never to do, I leave my cash in the car. The only reason I did this is because I was freaked out by the bank following situation. So my gut was like, don't have the money on you. And maybe this was a good mistake. Maybe there would have been an altercation in person. We don't know. I come back from shopping. My window is smashed. The cash is gone. My tire is punctured with this like metal thing that he hammered into it. Okay. So obviously I'm fine. I picked up some extra shifts. I will be okay. I'm fortunate enough to have a good job and be in an okay spot, right? So this is a classic scheme because we expect criminals to scheme, right?
Yep.
But this second part of the story is a worse scheme than this guy. This guy, I'm like, okay, you need the money so bad, you're willing to endanger yourself, fine. But then I roll up to Honda after fixing my tires, and in my moment of need, I get schemed on so freaking hard. We'll be right back with Brian and free car advice.
Welcome back. So you were saying Honda schemed you harder than the robber. How?
Yeah. So I pull up to Honda and they're like, oh my God, we can probably fix your window today. Grab a coffee, grab some water, take a seat. We'll be right back with a quote. They give me the quote verbally. Then I say, oh, can I have that emailed or printed so I can see a breakdown or something? They say no. I'm like, okay, well, I'm a little nervous that State Farm isn't going to approve that much, so I don't want to sign off on this and then have to pay out of pocket. And this man looks me square in the effing face and says, I've never had that happen before. They always approve it. For those who can't see my face, I'm doing this like, oh, really? Eyebrow raise? Because guess what the mother effing happened? State Farm was like, nope, not even close. Okay, here's what Honda quoted me to fix one window and the driver's side lock. $1,800.
Sounds like time for some free car advice.
Agree. Okay, what would you have done or thought?
Okay, so we got a shattered window, a busted door lock, a quote for an insane amount of money.
So much money.
What would I do?
Yeah.
I will tell you. I told Morgan to go to the Honda dealership for 2 reasons. Dealerships use proper parts, and they warranty those parts and the repair work, usually for a year or more. That can be worth the extra cost. $1,800, though, is far beyond extra cost. The going rate for labor, just the work the mechanic is going to do separate from the actual parts, is around $200 an hour. A shop will almost never charge you less than an hour to do anything. So even if you're replacing a part that costs $50, throw another $200 on there because that's going to be minimum. That $200 but doesn't go to the mechanic, by the way. That goes to the dealership. Mechanic's making maybe $30, $35 out of that. That's it. Rest of it is somebody else. Okay, now, after you've brought the car in, the mechanic looked at it. You said you wanted an estimate. He verbalized it. He did not give it to you physically. They should always give it to you physically. And not only should they give it to you physically or at least email it to you, they should give you a breakdown, an item-by-item list of parts on it and list of the labor that it will take to do and replace said parts. Then, like any receipt from a meal from a restaurant is what you should get, a breakdown. Dealership that Morgan went to did not do this, obviously. If this ever happens to you, if you are ever not given an estimate, or if you get an estimate that has vague words on it without an item-by-item breakdown, leave. Get out of that place. That place is shady as can be, maybe even to the point that it's illegal, honestly. Like, that's
because
so
how can
bad.
they do that?
They are hoping that you will approve the repairs right there and then, which he said with his, I've never heard, like, that is like a ploy, dude. That's just sign. Just sign.
He tried like 3 times to get me to like leave my car there overnight.
Yes, that's exactly what they want you to do. They never want you to leave. So they're hoping that you'll pay up front and then, maybe the insurance company will reimburse you later. They don't care because you've already paid and they have the money. It's not their concern whether you get reimbursed for that or not. Guys, never pay out of your own pocket, ever, if you're going to be dealing with your insurance company. Ever. Don't ever do that. Don't ever approve any repairs. Don't ever say anything that you're going to do something. Nothing. Take a step back. That's it. You don't owe anybody anything. You walk into a shop. You owe no one anything. You are a free person making a decision of your own. You can take your car at any time, pay them nothing at any time. That's how it works.
I'm so glad I could call you, honestly.
I'm so glad that you did.
I mean, I was definitely hesitant to do it, but he was like really, really convincing.
I'm sure. I mean,
he's like, I've never seen that happen.
This is his job. He's a salesman. Those people are salesmen. The person that you interact with at the dealership is a salesman.
I'm so glad I doubted it and then called you and you're like,
get
out of there.
Those instincts.
You're like, what's the breakdown? I'm like, ooh, there is no breakdown.
Yeah, so there's no breakdown. I looked at it finally when we got it. It just says...
Yeah, they sent it after the fact.
They sent it after the fact, and it just says, car has broken window and door lock, repairs, $1,800.
That's all.
That's it. Don't ever accept that. So Morgan finds out verbally after the fact, what is this $1,800? She finds out that the window costs $300. The door lock costs $200. So they're charging $1,300 for labor.
Yeah.
Even at the, as I said before, $200 an hour for labor, you're talking 6 hours of labor to replace a window and a door lock. Okay, I will tell you, this is a scheme that shops do, and it's called double dipping. For the window to be replaced, they have to take the whole door apart. So they're charging you the labor to do that. And I can tell you that when all that stuff is out, it takes about 2 seconds to pop in that door lock, because if you were going to do the door lock by itself, you would have to do the exact same thing. So what they do is they're charging you to remove everything twice, hoping that you don't know that these things are connected and that the labor would overlap and that you should really only be paying half of that labor there.
That's crazy.
They think you don't know this, and they're hoping. And that's garbage, and that's predatory, but this is something that shops do.
Damn.
And the sad thing is that, guys, if you don't know about cars, there is no way that you would ever know this.
No.
Ever.
For a lot of things.
A lot of things. But I do know. So I told Morgan, hell nah, these guys are not to be trusted. And so how much did the insurance company say that they were going to give us?
A skosh over $600.
That's after our $500 deductible, right?
Yeah, so they gave me $100.
$100. So
they wrote me a check for $100.
This guy wanted us to approve $1,800 in work, saying it's going to be totally covered. I would have been paying
$1,700.
We would have paid, yes. Sorry, $1,600 with $100 from the insurance company.
No, it was 18. So minus
you're
one
right.
is
You
17.
already did the math. Insane.
Terrible.
So yeah, it turns out the insurance companies,
I
and this is
been
another
murderous.
thing. So we already dealt with the car shop scheme part of it. Now we're going
Yeah.
to deal with insurance companies, which isn't quite a scheme, but it might as well be a damn scheme.
Yeah.
Turns out insurance companies don't care what the shop is asking for. Insurance uses its own calculation to pay out based on the average cost of this repair at any shop, which means independent mom and pop repair shops and dealerships. Independent shops are way cheaper. They don't necessarily use the genuine parts made for your car. The insurance company just says, hey, $650.
Oh my God.
And that's it. So we're looking at $150 to use for a supposed $1,800 repair. Here we are, folks. Even with all my knowledge and all my experience, sometimes you just get screwed.
Yeah.
We could fight the insurance company. We could fight the dealership. But you know what? In this instance, I say go to an independent shop because they're your cheapest option. There's no dealership in the world that would do that job,
Yeah.
even if they were being straight up and legit, for as little money as the insurance company was giving us. Never. There's not much that you can do.
Yeah.
So if you want to know what we did, and by the way, these are things, this could happen to anybody.
Yeah.
This is somebody breaking into your car.
Right.
This could happen anywhere, anytime, and
You
you
just
will
kind
be
of
put in this
assume
situation.
that would be like covered for some reason.
You think it would. And I suppose that it is. This is what insurance calls covering something.
Yeah.
Which is to say not very much at all.
Not very much.
So what did we do? I ended up doing all the work myself. Took me about an
Course.
hour and a half. Bought the window from Walmart straight from China. We got the door lock from Honda, an original part. Bing, bang, boom. It's all good. But guys, you have to look out for things like this. Never accept what the dealership is telling you straight up. Get a line-by-line estimate and get a copy of the damn thing. Predators all around. If you ever need advice for stuff, reach out to us, 877-766-2527, or email us. DM us, anything. It ain't right what they do to you guys out there. It ain't right.
You got a
And
resource.
You do. And I will help you, figure this stuff out if I can.
Thank you so much for fixing my car.
I'm so glad that it's
You
fixed.
saved me.
I've been driving around without a window for a week.
It was
with
really
broken glass
cold.
all over the place. It's a mess.
Awesome.
All right, guys. Well, when we come back, it's that time. Your No Class Picks of the Week. Stay with us. It's time to wind down the show here, bring it to a close the only proper way, with our No Class Picks of the Week.
You're just a jealous,
No class.
lazy bum.
No class pick. Okay, I have a class pick this week.
Ooh.
As you all may have heard, my window was broken. So, I've been driving around and parking without a window. First off, the amount of people who looked out for me, be it stranger or someone from work or the valet guys next to my work, I was overwhelmed by kindness and just good-heartedness. It really made up for the gross feeling of someone taking from you, So one of these gems was the security guard at the bank. Not the bank where I got robbed. That bank had no security guard, and I will never go back. This is the second bank I went to that day because I needed to get change again. So I go in, the line takes forever, and when I come out, he's concerned, and he's like, is someone in your car? I say, no, it's broken. It just happened near the other bank I went, and he was like, that's not right. Where was the security guard? I've been watching over your car this whole time just in case. And just his level of care was so nice after being so annoyed with my day. It was just so classy to give a crap about someone else. He didn't have to talk with me or talk it through at all, and he really took the time to process it and lament with me about how dumb it was. And it was really, really nice. So he's got style, as your dad would say.
He's got
My class
style.
pick. Yeah.
Yeah, man, that's really cool. I'm glad.
Yeah,
I'm glad
it
he
was
looked
just
out
so
for you.
sweet.
Yeah,
I was like, oh,
you're right. I don't ever see a security guard at the bank where you got
no.
robbed.
Where the heck are they?
I don't know, man. They don't care about us over there.
No, they don't.
Honestly, they don't care about us.
I'm never going back.
Good.
I'll drive in the traffic to go to the other bank.
Cool. Good.
All right, what's yours?
All right, my no class pick this week was hilarious, and I'm kidding here. But the little girl that treated me like I was a piece of gym equipment to get to a bowl of candy is my no class pick of the week. Morgan and I are picking up food from a sushi place, and I make the mistake of standing next to a table with candy on it. And as a family with 2 little kids is walking out, one of the servers asks them if they want any, and man, these kids were not going to be stopped.
Nah.
I'm up against the table, which is up against a booth in the waiting area, and this tiny, tiny girl, the table reaches the top of her head. She doesn't go behind me and go to the booth. She straight up comes at my knee, shoulders me out of the way, climbs up onto the booth so she can stand over the table and get some candy. And it all happened so fast that I couldn't even react to get out of the way.
Oh my God.
And it didn't bother me at all.
It was so funny.
It's
and
nice
cute.
to see kids act like monkeys. Anything other than seeing them stare at a tablet or a phone,
Dude, yes.
it was totally no class to shove me out of the way and to get
I
out
know,
of there.
her parents
and
were
not
like,
say-
I'm so sorry.
They were horrified and worried that I was going to be upset. I'm like, what kind of psychopath would be upset about the tiniest child in the world?
Like the smallest
It's
human
so
I've
tiny.
ever seen.
It was they were wearing a hoodie and they were all hood.
Yeah.
The hood was the same size as their whole torso. So it
It was very cute.
I'm totally fine with it.
It was really funny. It's like, yeah, she's got to get the candy. Excuse me, I'm busy.
Yeah, I'm in the way.
Get out of my way.
It's my mistake.
There is candy here.
There's candy.
I love that.
All right, guys, that's our show. Thanks so much for being here and hanging with us. Remember, next week is episode 50. Send us your favorite moments that we've done so far. Only a few days left to get them in. We really want them. Saturday, November 18th. Do it. Like and or subscribe to us on whatever platform you're listening on. We're on all the apps. Tell a friend. We appreciate you guys. Reach out to us. Instagram @that'snoclass. You can send us an email or a voicemail. that'snoclass@gmail.com. Call 877-7-NO-CLASS. Or as Morgan likes to say, 877-766-2527. Call us up. We love having your stories on the show.
Stay classy.
Stay classy and have a great week.